All right, this is Mr. Oman. We're going to be working on our kindergarten CorelDraw activity today. We're going to be drawing all of these colored shapes that you see on the screen here. Use the text to help guide you to get the answer right. It'll tell you what tool to use, what size to use, what location on the page, X and Y coordinates to use. So if you haven't opened up CorelDraw 2018 already, go ahead and do that. I'm going to split my screen here so you can see both the assignment and how I draw the assignment myself. Okay, you can start by starting a new document. And we need 3 settings changed. We need the width. Yours probably says 8.5 inches. Change that to 24. Your height should be 12 inches tall. And your primary color mode should be RGB, red, green, blue. And hit OK. Okay, that will get your page set up. There's your drawing space. Right there, that's the page. One other setting we need to take care of, your ruler here on the left side is not quite in the right place. We want the 0 to be all the way up here at the top left corner. So that becomes 0, 0, X and Y coordinates. So if you would double left click on the ruler on the left side, you're now in the ruler's options settings. And we're going to move the ruler up 12 inches. So in the vertical origin box, please type 12 and hit OK. And you'll notice your ruler just shifted up. So 0, 0 is up in the top left corner, like you can see here. Okay, if you've got those settings all right, you're ready to start. Problem number 1, we're going to draw a 1x2 rectangle and use the paint bucket to fill it with red color. So I'll grab the rectangle tool. Draw any old size rectangle. I don't care what size it is for now. Okay, we're going to change it to be 1x2 by going into its measurement settings. Okay, see those arrows right there? That's your left to right X measurement, X dimension. Okay, make that 1, and the vertical Y measurement should be 2, and you can hit enter, and that should resize it for you. I'm grabbing it by the X in the center, and I dragged it up to the top left corner. Okay, lastly, we need to fill it with red paint, so use the color fill bucket down at the bottom. I double left clicked, and I'm going to do a solid fill in red. Get those settings right before you hit OK. Okay, problem number 1 is all done. Problem 2, we're going to draw another rectangle and we're going to rotate it 45 degrees, it says. Okay, this rectangle is 1x1. Okay, and we'll fill that one with black paint. Okay, so draw a rectangle, change it to be 1x1. And then go over to the rotation setting and type 45, enter, and you can rotate it. Okay, and lastly we'll fill it with black paint down in the corner. And okay, and problem 2 is done. Okay, problem number 3, we've got 2 circles. They're blue filled and red outlined. Looks like we have a thick outline. In CorelDraw, we use a command called Ellipse, which is very similar to circle. We'll use the outline pen to color it red and use a thickness of 8 point. And we'll locate it to 2 exact coordinates on your page. So the location does matter. We'll do that at the very end. Okay, start by finding the ellipse tool. Looks like a circle. Draw a circle. Doesn't matter if it's perfect right now, because you can adjust its measurements. So we are looking for a 1x1 set of dimensions. Okay, we got our measurements correct. Okay, we're now going to use the outline pen in the lower right-hand corner of your screen. You can double left click this. Change the width to be 8.0. and the color can be red. So this is the actual line of the circle will be red. Okay, now we'll fill the inside, the paint bucket, solid, blue. Okay. All right, and to get it into the right location, X and Y coordinates, we will be selecting with the pick tool. Okay, I'm pointing out here that right now it's measuring to the center of your circle. Okay, with the pick tool I selected it. All right, just pointing out that we're measuring to the center of the circle here to the X and Y. Okay, so if I type in the location X equals 8 and Y is -1, it will find that location and put the very center of your circle on that location. Okay, once you've done that, select your circle and we're going to copy and paste it. That is Control-C on your keyboard. So with my pinky I'm pressing Control, with my index finger I'm pressing C down all together to copy it, and then Control-V, paste it. And it doesn't look like much happened, but it pastes it right on top of the other copy, so you have to drag one copy away to get them both to show up. And I'll correct the X and Y coordinates for this one, and we'll be done. So 10 and -1 right there. Okay, so that's how you can locate something on your screen. Moving on to number 4. Okay, we are going to be doing an octagon that's 1 by 2. You'll probably figure out quickly that the preview right there is not a 1 by 2 octagon, so yours will not look exactly like the direction shows. So trust your measurements. Find the polygon tool right there, and you can adjust the number of sides right here. So I'm from 5, I'm going up to 8 for an octagon. Go ahead and draw it. Doesn't look like they want a particular location, so you can just put it about there. Adjust the measurements to be 1 by 2, and you'll have a kind of an odd-shaped octagon right there. So trust that yours is right, even though it doesn't match the directions. Okay, go ahead and do your fill of green, and you can outline that in blue. All right, moving on to the next problem, number 5. We're going to use the star tool for this one. Okay, underneath polygon, if you click on the little black arrow at the corner of the button there, under polygon, more buttons come up. You got star right there. So select the star tool, draw yourself a star over on the top right corner of your page. Okay, there's no location needed, you just need to color it and outline it. Okay, pick whatever thickness you like. And you can paint it a purple color. Okay, on to number 6. You're going to be drawing just a random staircase. There's no exact sizes we need here. I'm just going to have you draw with the rectangle tool, make your rectangles overlap, and we'll show you how to trim things. This is a skill you'll need as you work in CorelDraw, is knowing how to trim lines. So I have some overlapping rectangles similar to that. Okay, the tool you need is hiding underneath the crop tool button. So pick the menu underneath it. There's virtual segment delete. That's the command we need. Virtual segment delete allows you to click and trim lines that cross each other. It'll delete those segments. So again, that's virtual segment delete, which is found under the crop tool. Okay, I'm now going to use the pick tool arrow to select the whole problem, the whole shape. And on the keyboard, I'm going to I can either press Control G for group, or I'm going to go up into the object menu and select group objects. This will combine all of your lines into one line. So when you select it, it selects everything. It's not many separate lines, it's one line. Makes it easy to work once you've got things finished. Okay, you can add some blue outline pen. And there you are, that one is done. Okay, our final problem is a chocolate chip cookie. You can pretend like you're taking a bite out of this. Oh, I'm sorry, we got one more before the chocolate chip cookie. We've got a rectangle that we're going to round the corners over. So go ahead and draw yourself a rectangle for this next one. I'm not concerned with the dimensions of this rectangle, except I will ask you to round the corners with a 0.25 radius. So I just drew a rectangle, hairline thickness, outline pen. Hairline is the thickness that the laser will read later on. Okay, and the directions say use the shaping tool. I think it's actually called the shape tool. There it is. Click on your corners. Bring those in, and you can then adjust the actual size of those corners. So you do need to keep your rectangle selected here. And you'll find the settings for the corners are up here. You can type in 0.25. Okay, and you've got 0.25 radius corners rounded over. Okay, that's number 7. Here's number 8. This is the chocolate chip cookie coming up. You can draw yourself an ellipse in the remaining space. Draw a bunch of chocolate chips in the middle. You'll be filling these with black paint. And you can also draw some teeth marks as if it's been bitten into. Okay, I'll leave that up to you. Okay, use virtual segment delete to trim these up. I'm going to select, I'm holding down the shift key, I'm selecting all of my chips. I'm going to fill them all at the same time. So again, I was holding down shift when I selected them all. You could do them one at a time, but that's slower. And that is the end.